Hello again, everyone. It's time for episode number 2 on the Diary of a New Artist. So I hope you enjoyed the first one. I know that was a lot of information. I'm going to return to some of the topics in that first video in future videos to break them down a little bit more in detail. But today, I thought it was important to let you know who I am as an artist. It's a little bit easier for you to understand my experiences if I tell you my story. So here goes. I started painting about 10 years ago, but what I want to make clear is that I painted not the way I paint today. It was a one off. I do a bucket list every year of things that I want to achieve or try in a 1 year period. And back in 2011, I think, one of my items on my bucket list was to paint a painting. So it was something that I had never done before. So one rainy afternoon, I went to Michael's, which is a craft store here, and I bought a canvas and a bunch of paint and proceeded to stare at a white canvas for probably a few hours before I was able to put my brush on the canvas and create my first painting. It wasn't spectacular, but I had done what I had set out to do. Once it was done, I threw it on my wall and really never looked back. It was about 2 years later where I got the itch again to paint something. I had an idea, so I painted another painting. This time I had an idea of what I wanted to do, so it was very specific. And I finished that one as well, and I put it up on my wall. Within a few months of that, it sold. Someone came to my house for a party and bought it off my wall. I didn't really give that much thought. Looking back, it was a pretty large painting that I think I sold for $100. Lessons learned. But again, it wasn't until about a year later where I decided to try it again. So I did another painting and posted it on a website I had at the time on a platform called GeoCities. I'm not sure if any of you remember that. It was kind of like a MySpace. So I had a trashy website on GeoCities, and I sold it to an international buyer from the United States. So once that happened, I thought to myself, as I had mentioned in my previous video, maybe I'm going to give this a go. Maybe there's something here. So I sat down and decided what kind of artist I wanted to be. I knew I couldn't have it both ways. In my opinion, I couldn't have it both ways. I was either going to be a for real artist who sold stuff, or just like a hobby painter that would create just for friends and family, if that at all, or just myself. But I decided that I wanted to go out there. I wanted to have my stuff out in the world. So that's what I did. I created a website, as you know, and put my paintings on it from time to time. Interestingly enough, fast forward about 3 years. And during that time, I hadn't done anything. I had no business cards, no postcards, no shows, no cafes, no restaurants, no nothing. It was just a painting every couple of months for friends and family, but good quality paintings. Like, I really put effort into it. And then one day, an artist from across the country in Vancouver emailed me out of nowhere and basically said he liked my stuff, but was I willing to hear the hard truth about my art? So I took it as an opportunity and I said, sure. Well, he sent me about a page and a half that first time of everything I was doing wrong. My website sucked. It was the wrong colors. My pieces were too small. My prices were too low. My prices were on my website, and that wasn't something that normally is done. Anyway, it went on and on and on. Everything I was doing wrong. But looking back, and at the time actually, I knew it was for the best. So once I decided to move forward and do this a little bit more professionally, not so much hobby, that's when the decision making came in and a little bit of money. So I hired a web page designer and had them design my web page, upload all my new pictures, which I had professionally photographed, and more importantly, I listened to his advice regarding sizes. I was really addicted to 12 by 24. I don't know what it was. 12 by 24 was my go-to size. And something small, like 20 by 20, was about the largest I've ever done. And he said that I'm never going to go anywhere, especially professionally, if I keep all my paintings in that size. Now, that was his opinion, and I trusted it. So I started buying very big canvases and wood panels. And it took me a few months to get into it and to get my style translated to those larger surfaces, but it worked. And pretty quickly, within like a month or two, the sales started to come in. The recognition started to come in. People were hitting me up from my website all the time. Then I jumped on Facebook and Instagram, as I had mentioned in the first video, that you need an online presence. Once I did that, again, the sales started to come more frequently. And that's about the time that I registered for my first art show. But that's another story. So that's my story, my beginnings. So if you have any questions or concerns, or you want to share your story with me, drop me a line in the comments below. See you next time.